From internationals for the internationals, this is International Hangout.
What's up, people of CO5? Welcome to episode 5 of International Hangout. My name is Shushanik.
I'm Suthi. Okay, before anything else, we just wanted to express our condolences to the passing of one of our beloved coaches on campus, Mike Shines. He has been a valuable member for the college community. We express gratitude to his service. We will be missing him, his service, and we would value the value he added to the community. Okay, now let's get to our guest. Today in our studio we have Tuan. First of all, he's my roommate. I'm proud of that. I'm proud being under his shadow. Actually, he's one of my favorite upperclassmen on campus. No doubt on that. He's a very dedicated campus safety officer. We all know that. And he's one of the Bon Appetit student supervisors. And he's also a computer science genius. I have a lot of things to add to this list. Let's say, how are you doing, Tuan?
Thank you for that extreme introduction. I'm doing all right. And thank you for welcoming me to the International Hangout.
Of course. I had been looking forward to invite you for this episode. Also, I had to mention he performed in the cultural show. You guys remember that? It was fantastic. His voice is amazing. And yeah, since you performed, I assume you are very passionate in music. So our main topic today would be about passion. So how did you get started with music, Tuan? Let's talk about that first.
It's a long story, the same with the years I have been spending to make music.
Mm-hmm.
I would say start 11 years ago. Things just came to my life, because at that time I was not a very good kid in people's eyes. And I felt that making music or singing some songs is going to be a better way to express emotion, feeling, or stories of not only myself but also my friends or other people in their life, just a reflection of their life. So I started music like that. It didn't take a short time. It took a long time to be really knowing about music. But I'm happy that at this moment I can do something. I can entertain people by my passion, let's say.
Yeah, I have seen the video clips you have uploaded to social media, about the music composing and all that stuff. Those are very impressive. So speaking of passion, that's a good segue to our topic. And yeah, what's your opinion on passion? I know there's a lot of mixed opinions on it. Do you think passion is something that can be discovered, or is it something we have to seek out?
Yeah. Before giving out any definition, I have to say that this is all from my personal opinions.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, passion is something that you love to do, you like to do, and you have no, different reason behind that to do that. For example, I started with music because I just love the music. I want to do that. When people mention me about do you want to become a singer, composer, or become a celebrity? Mm-hmm. Most of the time I would just say no, because I don't want to make music for money, or I don't want to write music for somebody that I don't really understand the story.
Mm-hmm.
So music is just a very emotional way that I choose to express my life. And if you listen to all the songs that I write, you're gonna see all this there are a few stories behind the songs, and not only about music, but also when we talk about other fields of life, other aspects of life. For example, somebody like to computer science, somebody like to do business. I would say it's a passion if they do that because of their interest, and it has no meaning. It doesn't harm anybody. It also doesn't harm their life by doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would say pursuing music is an emotional journey for a lot of people. It touches all the emotions of human beings. And so what do you think about what's wrong with modern day passion? I would frame it like that. What do you think? What's wrong with modern day passion? Like what?
I would say people often like maybe people are confused, or maybe people mix them up. But we have to distinguish between what you love to do and what you're good at. Because I would say passion is something that we love to do, and like I say, sometimes it doesn't mean that like we need to make money from the passion. But for myself, I always have like two parallel plans, which is I'm doing what I love to do, but in the meantime I study and I look for a job on something that I'm good at, because that's how I balance my life. I mean, if you can make money, if you can make like if you can improve your life, you can make your life savings with your passion, then you're special. You are very special, and you're very like fortunate that when you are able to do that. But at the meantime, for the safer way, I would just say that like try to distinguish between what you love to do and what you're good at.
Yeah. I think that's a very valuable point you made. Like I know like a lot of people kind of confused with like what it means to have a passion. Like I know some people really good at some stuff, and also there are like crises between how much financially like feasible, like how much. I mean, we all agree that at a certain time we gonna value money like to like achieve certain things in our life. We need money, and for that people try to use like kind of the passion they care about, like, and you can have something that's gonna earn as much as money that's gonna be sufficient to live.
Yeah, that makes me like relate to one of the story in the past that when I was like volunteering for the UWC final round back in my country in 2018, December 2018. One of the chairmen of my UWC national committee actually invited me to see one of the composer and one of the singer that like two of them were two of the most famous celebrities in my country at that time. I got a very huge opportunity at that time, and actually I said yes first. But later on, after finishing all of my job, I came back to my room. I just felt like that was not the time, I love to do music. I love to see all those people, and I love people to hear my music. But at the meantime, when I think about being like serious with what I'm doing, I just feel like I can't. Like I just want to do it for fun. I want to do it when I want to do, and I want to do some like test some new thing for my music. Something that maybe other people don't like, but I feel that like that make me feel satisfied when I do that. So when thinking about that opportunity, later on when I came back to my room, I just text my chairman that like I can't make it. I don't feel regretful about that, to be honest, until this point, because at the meantime I also can follow what I think that like I am good at, or maybe I would like to spend time to work on that, which is like business and computer. And at the meantime, when I feel that like I need to tell you like some stories, I'm still able to make some music, and let the people that need to hear that story listen to that. I like how music is like very unique for you, like who you select, who you're gonna like show the emotional side of music. That's very important. I mean, I think we also should talk about, I feel like, a meaningful side and the fulfilling side of passion. I think a lot of people also confused with what it means to like be, not what it means to have a meaningful passion, and what it means to have a fulfilling passion. I think it's very subjective to people, but what's your opinion on that? I would say a good passion is something that you can balance both, make it both meaningful and fulfilling. Because we have to remember, we have to pay attention to the point that like when it comes to the passion, it means that we do it for ourselves first. We do it to satisfy ourselves first. But at the meantime, like I said, it can only be passion if it doesn't harm anybody, and it will be a good passion, meaningful passion, if it can make some value for the society or for the people like around you, like in a positive way. So meaningful is like very broad, like word to say. But I would say that like when you do something, and at the meantime, think about other people. For example, when I write a song, I also want to calm people down, or like try to like. Sometimes I write a song just to make people feel relaxed. Sometimes I write a song just to make people like have like a moment to think about something that I feel that like they need to. Then I think that's a meaningful part of what I'm doing. But at the meantime, like I told you, I want to try some new genre of music. For example, all 3 songs that I performed the medley that I performed in culture show. That was like 3 different genres that I never tried before in my life. So it was kind of like very like new, fresh experience to me, and I was so happy when people came to me and they said like, "Oh, it was the best version of like my performance in the culture show." And I was like, I was surprised at first because that was the first time I tried, and I was happy at the same time because other people see that they enjoyed that, they got entertained, and at the meantime, I feel satisfied with what I'm doing. So I feel that like meaningful and fulfilling should come together.
Yeah. Totally agree on that. Okay.
Do you sing a lot?
Huh?
Do you sing a lot?
Yeah.
Like in your room and like bother your
No,
roommates?
you know what?
I sing a lot. I sing Lana Del Rey all the time.
Oh,
and
you
I'm
like
not
Lana
good
Del
at
Rey? Oh
singing.
god, that's kind of coincidence. But I see Lana Del Rey like become so popular nowadays. But no, to be honest, in my room, no, I don't sing a lot. That's kind of funny thing that like the a cappella part. When it came to the ending of my performance, that was the first time I actually tried it.
Oh my god.
Before that, I was so shy to actually do the cappella in front of people. So what I did during the rehearsal, I just asked the people from above, like, "Hey, can you hear me well?" And when they say yes, then that's like, okay, that's good enough. Because like the problem with me that like a lot of professors told me that like my voice was so quiet, especially when I was doing my presentation. For most of the time, they're just like, "Hey, Tuan, can you speak a bit louder?" And when I heard my performance after I performed, I was like, "No, actually, I could make it like loud. It's just like I was just too quiet all the time, So no, but I would love to sing, but not in my room.
No, actually, he's a good roommate. He's a perfect roommate, I would say.
Perfect silence for me.
I'm transparent in my room.
Oh gosh. No, I think you play music like when you're showering and stuff. I mean, my room is next to the shower. My side is next to the shower. But you play music, right? Sometimes.
I mean, you kind of feel scared if you don't see anybody playing music when they take a shower.
Oh yeah.
If somebody takes a shower for like 30 minutes and you don't hear any music, that's the time you need to break the law and go into.
Literally.
That's how we know. Gosh, I'm loving this. I'm loving being a roommate with you guys. Yeah. Shout out to Abdullah as well. He's the other roommate. Anyways, okay. So what do you think about, like, I know passion, some people think passion is something like, it's very constant to their lives. Like, some people think it could change over the period of time. What's your opinion on that? I mean, I personally believe it could change over the time, but I know like a lot of people think the otherwise. What do you think about that?
I would say it doesn't change. It's just like they have more passion in different fields, and for some, like, short time in their life, they spend more time for this kind of person rather than the other person. Because actually, I stopped music for a while, to be honest. I think after 2019, I stopped making music. And it was COVID time and I was working back home. And I got a full-time job, so I just concentrate for the job. And since 2019 until 2021, I didn't make any music or really like focus on music. So I stopped for a while, and during that time I found out that I also like love to code,
Wow.
And I just spent more time on coding, making the project for the company, and I felt that like coding was good, and I would like to spend more time on that than spending time for music. It doesn't mean that I lose my passion with music. It's just like for a short time I just want to spend time for something else, because like when I was calling to one of my friends, he used to be a chairman of my national committee as well. He just called me and asked me how I was doing, but at that time he just well, before we end the call, he just told one thing to me that like make me feel that like I need to restart my music. He told me that like remember that you used to be a musician or you used to be an artist, something similar like that. And at this moment, I just realized that for 2 years I haven't really like opened the software and touch any like the instrumentals. So I just feel like that's the. And then 2021 I came to the US. I felt like that was a good time to restart my passion, and that's how you saw my performance in the culture show for the first time.
Yeah, like wait, you came here 2021?
Yeah, 2020 was the time that I started my college, but online.
COVID. Gosh, I forgot about that totally.
COVID, yeah.
It feels like COVID was like a long time ago, but like it was. Gosh, okay. I mean, you performed in cultural show twice, right? Didn't you?
3 times already.
3 times.
Yeah, I never missed.
See, consecutive.
It's like it's like an annual like
thingy. Like
milestone for me, since UWC already. Shushani came to the same UWC with me, so you can ask her. Like I perform in both cultures. No, the first culture show, the second time I didn't perform in the culture show, but I performed in open mic. So it's like an annual milestone that like I will perform on stage like once a year. But I feel that like this year gonna be the last year that I perform on stage. That's the reason why I gave the introduction to people, telling them that like for the last time ever on the stage. Doesn't make it good. Okay.
I'm graduating next year.
I mean, next spring.
Yeah.
Wow. Time just passes like.
Exactly. 3 years just like in the like.
I can't believe I'm a junior, but even more than that, I can't believe like our seniors, like the ones we look up to, they're gonna graduate soon. I mean, it's the part of life, and I mean we move on with things. Anyways.
You are graduating too, so
I used to have a year.
oh my god. My plans are kind of different, but yeah, we won't talk about that here. The spotlight is on Tuan. Yeah, you are already a senior. How's your senior year going, Tuan?
I feel like the same with other seniors, and except a part that like one of my classes got cancelled, and the math department are trying to like fulfill that. But still, senior, you're busy, you're stressed, have a lot of stuff to do, especially if you're an international student. You even have to think even more, especially the life after college. So that's the time that I feel that like you need to take care of yourself even much more.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I think self-help, like taking care of ourselves, is an important thing. It doesn't matter if you're a senior or like in general in our life. So let's talk about self-help now. So what do you think? How do you distinguish like the difference between healthy self-improvement and and maybe I would frame it like that: difference between healthy self-improvement and unhealthy obsession, like kind of towards personal development. How are you gonna differentiate that?
I would say self-help is simply just helping yourself, and it doesn't mean that like you need to do something to make you become so special or become so outstanding. I would just say it's simply just like make you feel better to focus on what you are focusing on. And people, I don't know, like it seems like people are trying to, or no, not saying trying, but like people are exaggerating it about self-helping, because healthy self-improvement, very simple. It just make your health, make your life healthy, make your work healthy, make your study healthy, healthy relationship, healthy lifestyle. It's different from that like you are trying to do something like more like bigger or like larger in your life. For example, you are trying to get into like a huge company, and if you say that like getting into the huge company is self-help, then I in my opinion, my own personal opinion, I don't think so, because it's not what you need. What you need is like you need to ask yourself how are you doing with your life, how are you feeling about mentally, physically, how are you feeling about that?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I think I've heard people being sarcastic about like self-help or people who seem to be addressing their issues via that mechanism or technique. I don't know how to call that. Instead of addressing like seeking help from professionals. So I'm curious about like what form of self-help you're practicing and just like in general, what do you think about this?
I would say that like, because to be honest, I had to see my doctor for mental issues more than one time, and I could feel that. And at the meantime, they can't be with me like 24/7, so I need to find some way to like helping myself. And I feel like helping ourselves first, we need to take care about how we think about stuff, how we think about what is going on with our life, what is going on with society, or what is going on about like what you care. And at that time, you need to decide what is your next step, what is your next move. You want to do something, or you want to think about something, or sometimes you just want to sleep. But by any ways that you do, the final like the final goals is still making yourself feeling better. And to me, that's what I think about self-help. I know that like nowadays we see a lot of types of self-help. We see a lot of people doing self-help online on social media. I see that every day, to be honest. But I wanna make sure that you are not talking about the illusion, because telling yourself that you are good, you are very special, you are outstanding, that doesn't help you. We need to be like practical at the same time. We need to be like very detailed about what we are looking for.
Yeah.
For example, if we are feeling stressed about the class, then take a moment and think about what we need to improve from, sometimes it's just like performance in the class or assignment or, exams, rather than just telling yourself that like, yeah, we're going to pass the exam. It just doesn't help you, to be honest. So people have different form, people have different like definition or different thoughts about self-helping. And the same with passion, to be honest. Self-helping, you help yourself, you doesn't harm anybody, you doesn't harm yourself. That's self-helping. And at the end, we want to make not only ourselves but everything around us better. I think that's the best part of self-help.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems like you're giving a perfect recipe for overthinking. What do you think about that?
To be honest, overthinking is not absolutely bad, because as like personally, I overthink a lot. But I just want to make sure that like when bad thing happens, I'm ready for that. It's not like everything will be bad anyways. No. Sometimes I become an overthinker or negative thinker just to make sure that like everything that I'm doing, I'm ready for the worst parts of that. But I would suggest that like, it's just like a salt in a recipe. Don't make it too salty. And just feel like overthink, it just somehow you prepare for the future. It shouldn't be the main part of the way that you're going to. Because even overthinking or negative thinking, both of them, yeah, of course, they're tiring. But we can find a good reason to say why they are good, as well as that, like, why they're bad. They're good, I mentioned that already. But why they're bad? Because it directly affects your mental health. And you don't want to be, you don't want to be losing your mind all the time thinking about all of that. Like, you have more than one stuff to do in your life every day. If you're a student, you study, you do your homework, you hang out with friends, you talk to people, and if you have a job, you have to go to work. You have to go to work at the meantime, and you don't want if you don't want to be a bad influencer on whatever you're doing,
Yeah.
you want to be a good reason for people to follow you. And for example, if you work, you don't want to come, you want to see your customer with a very like upset face.
Yeah.
You want to be positive, you want to make people feel good. Sometimes it's just hard because days is not positive all the time, I would say. But in the meantime, just make it like positive thinker. Just make ourselves positive thinkers. You have a job, you have customer, you have to go, you have to see them, you have to make them feel good. Even you don't feeling good, but we have to take care of our customer. So again, overthinking and negative thinking is absolutely not bad if we know how to limit all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that like when you helping yourself, when you're helping other people, when you planning something, doing something, try to limit, try to put a barrier for what you're thinking about. If you think to some point and you realize that it cross the barrier, just make the sentence in your mind like, oh, that's too much.
Yeah.
That's too much. And then go back, just don't fly too high. Just go back to the ground and then we're going to be okay. And I think that's the main part of the whole thing when we talk about overthinking and negative thinking, because we need a good reason to think, and we also need a good reason not to think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right. I just want to add something I learned in one of my classes, like about this specific part, like about overthinking. I heard like overthinking is kind of like the origin of overthinking comes from like apparently it's an evolutional instinct we have. Like, I mean, we all know we have like this fight and flight kind of the mechanism within us, and sometimes we have to evaluate. It's like it comes from evaluating all the possibilities, the worst case scenario that could happen. That's why we overthink, and it comes from there. Our brain always tend to like think of the worst thing to like kind of safeguard ourselves from so we be prepared, for the worst outcome. Yeah, I just wanted to put it out there. I mean, it could be wrong. I'm just putting it out there.
No, I can relate to that because the reason why I usually overthink is because like I want to see like what it can be like in future. And like I think my friends know I like to like imagine the worst case scenario and like so that just like to be prepared, because if it's something that happens and you like didn't expect it like at all, it's like a big shock. But like if you could see it coming, even if you don't like it, even if it's bad, then you are more prepared like mentally and just like overall, rather than just something happening like accidentally.
Yeah, that make me think about like we're international student, and I believe that like all of us have very like special unique story about like where we're from and where we are right now. So it makes me think about the story of from number 0 to a decimal. We're not. I would say that I'm not a number 1 yet. That 100% already. I'm not that 100% yet. But it makes me think about that story because I'm from a small village, very small village, and at the time that I went abroad to study, it was like a bomb, an explosion in my hometown. Never ever anybody did that before. So, but at the meantime, right now I'm worrying a lot about a lot of things in my life. Sometimes I see myself not good enough. Sometimes I see myself not successful enough. I don't know what to use differently, but I would say successful. And I would just ask you guys as well that like, I would like to ask the audience as well that like, have you ever thought about where you're from, how you were when you start, and how you are right now? Because I think back about like let's say 10 years ago, when everything about US or everything about like other country in the world, it was all from the television or from the internet. Never thought about how my life would be when I go abroad. But then I got a chance, very good chance to go abroad. And right now I'm on US. I see the people that for the most of the time back in my childhood, I saw all that in television. I used to wish to study in a college like this, live a life like this, you know, live a life by ourselves. I don't have to rely on anybody. I don't have to like do other people command. Let's say. But when right now, I already achieved what I wished when I was in my childhood. But in the meantime, do I feel happy totally with this life? No. So that's the time that I put the question for myself, like why, you know. It seems like we are so busy with our life. We worry so much about our life that we forget that like we actually achieve a lot of things in our life.
Yeah, we've come so far.
Yeah, we have come so far that we don't know who we are. Like that part I took from the songs "Get Lucky," and that part just hit me so bad. We become so different from 10 years ago, 5 years ago. We become like bigger. We become like more mature. That we forgot about what we were trying to achieve like 3-4 years ago. And I feel that like when I think about that part, I feel like I'm partly successful in my life, that I achieved a lot of goals that nobody else could have a chance to do that. It's just like I overthink too much about how my life would be in the future, that I forgot all of that part. I forgot all of the positive part about my life. So if I can give you an advice, I would say that like try to take a moment to think about where you starting, and then how are you doing right now. That was the best part of your life, because you realize that you already achieved a lot of goals in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, long way from Armenia to US.
Exactly right. I couldn't believe that like
It's like our common point.
Yeah. It's kind of funny when I say to people that like, I'm from Vietnam, you know, the other side of the planet, because you know, I for the whole time before I went abroad, I had only one chance to actually went far away from my home to live. It was only 1 month, but never ever in my life I thought about going abroad to live, study, or even like just for like, a trip. But then I did. You know, the first time in my life, I was on a plane going to somewhere that like they don't speak my mother tongue anymore. Seeing the people that like, the first question I had to ask them like, where you from? It was so unique experience, and you know, at the meantime I felt so strange that like everything was like just like a dream, to be honest. When I think back about the part that like I was in ULC, everything, I felt everything so not true. But at the meantime, when I look at the pictures, I like, yeah, I actually were there. I was actually there. I was actually there. I was seeing people there. So it's just a long story. And like I said, we come so far that we forgot who we are right now.
Yeah.
It's so surreal. What's your favorite memory from Armenia before we go to Vietnam? It's like a world tour.
I would say I have a lot of good memories, but to talk about Armenia, I love people there. They're super nice. Like, you know, I know that like some people, they knew that we were international students from ULC, so they treat us so well. Like from the restaurant, from the mart, from everywhere around the campus. But when we, you know, travel around the country, I just realized that like, no, they're actually nice. It's not because we are international students, they're actually nice. From young people to the old people. So that's the best part about Armenia in my mind. That like every time people ask about, because Armenia, when I came to Armenia to study, you know, people just didn't know much about Armenia. They just knew that like, oh, that was a country that used to be a Soviet, you know, a Soviet state, let's say. But I'm so proud to say that like Armenian people are so nice to me. Not even on campus, but also outside of campus. And I think my life was pleased by those people for those 2 years.
It sounds like I asked the question to hear good stuff about my people.
I hear you.
But it's like common answer, like for everyone who went to WC, my country, everyone says that Armenia is about the people. Like, because, yeah, not like that we don't have, like, a lot of culture, but, like, people are who make, like, the country, you know, because it's a big part of our culture.
Yeah, I mean, because I feel that like what makes a country become, you know, outstanding from other country is from like how they treat their friends from outside their country. It's just like let's assume that like the country is a house. You are the owner of the house, and if the guests coming, then of course if you treat them well, they're gonna, you know, they're gonna have a good impression about you, about the whole country. Because one of the things I realized that like when I went abroad, then I was presenting for my country. People
Yeah.
gonna judge the whole country by
Yeah,
looking at how I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I don't want people to think bad about my country by the way I'm living there, you know. And
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't mean that like I'm a bad person. It's just like I know that people gonna judge everything by how I say about things and how I do stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I feel that like each person, when they go out of their house, they should be thinking about that they are the presenter of their hometown.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
yeah, just like that.
So, let's talk about Vietnam. I usually, you know, I Google like cultural facts about Vietnam or like whatever country it is, but I think it's one of the countries that like sounds so exotic to me, and I don't know why. I think like in the past years, Thailand and Vietnam have been like so popular in the world. Like everyone is getting a house there, or like just I don't know, like all this like, you know, like people who practice like yoga or like all this like whatever like peaceful lifestyle, whatever they go
Meditation.
to, like, yeah,
Yeah,
they go to
meditation.
like Thailand or Vietnam. I don't know, is that how you do you like that image of your country in the world, or like is it actually like that, or is it just like some privileged white people like just getting like like, you know, that have a lot of money that can go like rent a villa or something like that and just like record like vlogs and stuff like that?
Yeah. I don't know what's the reason behind like people coming to my country, but I would say that like we don't care about the reason behind. We care about like you are the guest in my country and we're gonna treat you well. That's a thing that I think make my country become so special, because you know my country is so rich about cultures. We had like 4,000 years of changing, growing, settling down everything. We went through a lot of wars,
Yeah.
and we went through a lot of like hard time in the past. And I'm proud that like my country's the area is not large, but we make like good impacts on the world somehow. And we are growing. We still the developing country. We are not yet developed country, but I'm proud that like there are more people from my country that like going out to the world and showing the world the good part,
Yeah.
the very like
Yeah.
exceptional part about my country. And because like Vietnam, I think it's the same with a lot of like Asian country that like we care more about like human beings. So it's not like we just care about money, we just care about job. No, the best part about talking about job, the best part about job in my country is like people just enjoy their life and they don't really spend like their whole life just working. I often like when talking to like American people, because one
Comparison.
no, it's just like I just realized that like most of American people I talk to, they at least have 2 jobs at the same time, and they work hard. They work super hard from the morning until late night. Back home, not a lot of people do that, unless they have financial hardship. We work after 5 p.m., 6 p.m. We have time to hang out, to do meditation, like you said. We have time to go have coffee with friends. Literally like after 5, 6 p.m., you're gonna see my country become so busy, not because people are working, no, people are hanging out. People are busy of hanging out. And that's the best part about life in my country. I think that's the reason why a lot of foreigners like to live in my country, because first, everything in my country, the price is so cheap comparing to the currency exchange. Secondly, it's comfortable. You don't have to compare the salary. You don't have to compare like the job with anybody. Even we make the medium salary rate, we still live like okay. We still enjoy our life. It doesn't mean that we stressed about our life. No, because I used to live the time that I was working back home. I made just like medium salary, but I enjoy my life. I still have time to hang out with people. I still have time to like to take care of the passion, not like the music passion anymore, but just like that. And one another thing I see that like people in my country are doing well is like, we take care of the people around. We take care of the neighbors. So technically, for example, you go to some place new to live, then the first thing I think you must do is greeting your neighbors.
Yeah.
You want to make friends with all the neighbors that you know. You want to have some good time, just can gather all the neighbors together and like have fun with them. Yeah, like the power of community in my home, in my country is so huge. So I think that's the best part about life. I'm not sure when I say that like my country is not like really like outstanding about making money, but I'm confident and I'm proud to say that like if you think about some place to live for the rest of your life, welcome to my country. We're treating all the foreigners well, and we're friendly, just like that. And the food as well. The food is good.
I was waiting.
Big part of
I was
Vietnam
waiting for this part.
Well, I think it's about the philosophy of how you think about like how much money is good money, because back home it's the same thing. Like people may be making like half of what I make with my student job, but I think they would be like happier than me, and it's just about the system that you're in, because the capitalist system in US is basically like a race to see how much money you can make, and like by the time you retire, like how much money you're gonna have, It's about being satisfied with the amount of money that you have, and like not the urge to just like make more and more and more, because I think in that race you just like forget to enjoy life and just go like all about like your day is basically just all about your work.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, because I live in the US. I work part time here, and I could feel the pressure from making money from like odd people around.
Yeah.
Because like you don't like here, we don't need to show off with anybody. But at the meantime, if we don't make like a lot of money, then we just feel not good. I don't know why. It's just like that.
Well, it's just the system. Don't worry.
I think so. Just a system, maybe just a system, but that's, I mean, like economically, then that's capitalism. When we try our best to make the best for ourselves, and we make it, we owe it, and we take it ourselves. We don't necessarily need to share. So I think that's the reason behind why people work so hard here and try to make a lot of money here. It's just like identity of each person, I guess. Back home, if you make like a millions or you make like 1,000, you still can be friends. Doesn't matter. If you still like have time to go coffee, then nothing changes, to be honest. So that's the best part, because like I don't know, back home people are just so caring, and I think that's the motivation why I try to go home all the time that I can. And to be honest, even I go out, I have a lot of big opportunities outside my country. My final goal is still going back home and settle out there.
Yeah, I remember talking about that.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do in Vietnam? I'm just curious,
To be honest, I just want like a peaceful life. I've been through like a lot of like thunderstorm already. I mean, I'm still young, so probably I take all the challenges I can. But at the end, I want to have just like a peaceful life. I expect to have time to, hang out with people. I expect to have time to spend for my family, because that's the thing that like have not been doing well for the last 5 years when I went out of my country. COVID gave me a chance. That's how bad. Yeah, COVID is terrible, but COVID gave me a chance to get bond with my family after years. And I don't know, I would say it was such a pleasure that I could stay home during that year, because the life of my family became, mentally much better. And that made me feel much better and make me feel good when I had to go to the US to study. It was so different from going to UWC for the first time. I still remember that I got a nightmare just before my flight. And the nightmare was, in my nightmare, I was just not ready to go. I still remember what happened in my nightmare, and I still remember that I actually woke up. I saw my mom, like, Mom, I'm not ready. I told my mom like that. I can 100% sure with you that I told my mom like that. But I realized that it was just a dream. But I don't know, at the time I just felt I was not ready at all. But when I came to the US, things changed a lot. So I'm not homesick at all. When I go out, I don't feel homesick. It's just like I want to go back to my country, have a peaceful life, eat good food,
Food.
enjoy the weather. Oh my god, we have 4 seasons in a year. You love to see that.
What's your favorite holiday in Vietnam?
Lunar New Year.
Lunar New Year.
Yeah, Tet holiday. Don't make it complicated with Chinese New Year. It's different. But Lunar New Year is the best time in a year that we can gather the whole extended family together. Because like we have like kind of like a week or 2 weeks off for everybody in my country. So that's the time that like everybody can make their time to go home, see the relatives, see the friends, and it's just a feeling. It's just like, I think it's the same with Christmas in US. You see that like your Christmas coming, you wanna see your relatives, you wanna get bond with other people in your family, you wanna decorate your house, something like that. And we did the same thing for Lunar New Year, and it was just like a bit longer than Christmas. But it's good to see how people are doing after a year. We set the new goals for the next year, and we want to see how far can we go. Can we go for the next year? I would say that. It's just about the feeling. If you are a foreigner and you come to my country, maybe you're not gonna feel that immediately.
Yeah.
But if you look at the people, you look at how happy the young kids are when they get the red envelope from our people, or you see how happy the teenagers are when they have time to hang out with their friends. You're gonna feel that, to be honest. So yeah, just like that.
Yeah. I know that Vietnam is like a mix of, I don't want to say like colonizer cultures, but at the same time like French and American. Is there a lot of influence like in Vietnam?
There was a time that like when French came and they start building the buildings, and then they start teaching the French. There was a short time that like we got like affected a bit about their culture, or maybe it was not their culture, but that was what they expect us to know and observe. But I would say that I'm so proud of my country, because like back in the past we got colonized by China for 1,000 years, not lying, 1,000 years, and we still keep our culture, keep our traditional. And I think that's the best part of my country, because if you look back in the past and right now, you're gonna see that like nothing much changed. Even we got colonized by more than one country and more than one time, everything was still alright. And then right now, when we become like the world become like more like much more smaller, when like it's so easy to reach out of the society of the other country. We import the new trends, the new lifestyle into my country. But at the meantime, like I said, we still have our Lunar New Year. We still have all the holidays in a year, and we still keep our discipline about our life. Still keep our culture about our life. Lifestyle is still the same. So I think that's the best part of my country, that like we are the same, no matter how many wars, how many times that we got colonized.
Wow, that's good. I like that.
Wow, a lot of new stuff about Vietnam. Yeah, as you can see, like the best part of International Hangout is like people sharing a lot of new stuff about their countries and things we never heard of. Yeah, thank you Tuan, for like, you know, like being the special guest today and like sharing all this stuff with us, sharing all these wise words and you know, a lot of things about Vietnam. Yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you all for inviting me here, and thank you for the audience that I'm still hearing myself talking until this part. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the time has gotten ahead, and like now we had to end the episode. Yeah, thank you everyone. To end the episode, I want you to kind of say like how do you guys greet back home, like to end things?
God, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah,
Like,
do you?
like say bye or say hi?
I don't know, in your language. Yeah,
Yes.
we can say it together.
I would say.
How do you say it? How do you say it?
Okay.
What do you say?
Like, I would just say something like, for example, like, thank you for listening.
Okay.
And see you next time. I think.
Yeah, well, how do you say it?
Cảm ơn các bạn đã lắng nghe.
Okay.
Xin hẹn gặp lại các bạn lần tiếp theo.
Do you want? Okay, let's say it together, but
No, I can't say it. No, that's
That's a bit too much.
Okay. Okay. So you guys, you heard that. Thank you everyone for listening, joining us. Yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.